Um, I wanted to see if I might be able to post this or anything because I need to try to. I'm seeking some advice because I park here at a parking lot here in downtown in Los Angeles, and there's nothing that I can possibly do because right here where I park at, they are vandalizing all the windows all the time. I just I bought a car. I had a Ford Escape. They broke the window. You know what I mean? It costs $250 to have to park here, then have to pay another $250 to fix the window. And then it just just have to, it's just uncalled for. It's like, $250 for parking, and then a broken window's another $250 have to get fixed. And then this time, I have bought this cargo van. I bought this cargo van. And I woke up in the morning. I just spent everything I like, literally. Just had to try to get things up and running. And I come back, and then all of a sudden I got this problem. Let me pop the ignition out of the car, trying to steal the car. I just after I just paid. The one thing about this parking lot, it's not even. It's only it's only like the 22nd, and I got to get to the at least to the first or second. I got to get at least to the first or second, but in order to park here, because I don't have nowhere to park at night. I just graduated a LA mission program. They let me work and save, so I bought this this van. Then I'm still waiting on housing. I'm trying to hopefully try to use a van so I don't have to utilize housing. But the thing is, the point that I'm trying to make is that this is ongoing. The situation is ongoing. They just come in here, they break things, they steal things. That they broke my window. I tried to file a report, but I was too busy to even file a report. The parking lot pays. It's only like the 22nd. I had to pay $250 a park, and then I got to pay another $250 at the first of the month. To pay the parking for the month. That's when they give me a discount. So I got to pay $500 right off the top. But it's just like, when you're starting from the ground up, money is just grow on trees. You gotta, I had to pay $2,000 for the cargo van. Then I had to pay, another $800 to get the Cadillac converter, that Cadillac, thing fixed, replaced. And then, so that was $800, that was, 2,000 there, another, 800 there. And then, they have to pay $250 for the parking till the first, and then and having that just having to go through the channels. I was on my way to the DMV. I can't go until I run the van at least 200 miles so I can pass smog with the thing. But the thing is that this is like ongoing. I was looking forward to maybe even to driving it over to the DMV right now, and it's just a dream killer right now because now I got to worry about this. Okay. And this is over here, on 220 South Spring in downtown Los Angeles. Okay. So now I gotta, worry about this. So I can't put the key. I can't start it. Yeah, well, so I can't start it. So, um, So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see how I can find a solution, because I paid they charge a lot of money to park here, then it just all kinds of accidents, it's not only me, but it's all kinds of the cars in here, they just allow it to just happen. I can file I told the guy downstairs, I just filed a report. Yeah, you can file. They're just going to put it on another, just going to put it on the stack. I understand, I was born here in Los Angeles. I understand. But the thing is, all right, well, it is what it is, I guess. Is that what I'm supposed to think? Just, oh, okay, well, I'll just let it happen. But when am I going to be able to, I already know, I don't have nowhere to park. I don't have nowhere to park it right now. So, what am I supposed to do? Just allow it to just keep happening, or anything? I was trying to get some equipment in here, things like that. How can I do that with only 24, with the 24-hour parking here in downtown? Like, how is that realistic? Is that going to happen? So I was just seeing if anyone has any, ideas or, or anything that might be able to give me a recommendation on, how to go about this, because, this is just, I'm just trying to, ease the situation, that I'm in right now. And, I have to go through this. So right now, I have to, call, Ford. I got to get the car towed because I can't drive it. I'm in a parking lot, so I got to get it towed. That's another 140. And then, I have to, pay for the part. That's another 140. Not counting, what I have to do over at the DMV. So, I just dished out, 2,000 for the van, another 800 to get it fixed. Then another, 250 for the parking until the first. Then I have to pay another 250, there. And then now I gotta, get it to the DMV, not only that, but it's just like, just to try to do a startup, right here, you still gotta, pay the $75 to the IRS and let the IRS know, so it's just like, it's just constantly just like dishing out, I started out with 4,700 that I had to save from the ground up, from having to be at a program, staying there for a year, then having to have to work there for another year. No, well, for like 6 months, then try to get that to try to buy a van, and then try to try to do the startup and things right from the ground up, come on, so, there's a lot that goes on here, but I do have, a few, if you, continue to, maybe try to, subscribe, then I could, I have, there's opportunity, in being a subscriber here. Right now I'm doing a ground up, startup for, a mobile wash. It's going to be a mobile wash, and it's from the ground up. Everything was from the ground up. So you can stay tuned, and then you can see how we get to that point. But right now, I'm still trying to get there. I just got to the cargo van. And then now I got to go. To go get it fixed. Then let's stay tuned, and we can help me with a few ideas, and we can go from there. I also have a book on how to thrive in DTLA. So, I have a background, corporate sales for over 20 years in different offices here in Los Angeles in the Orange County area. And, I can, I'll have some pointers and things like that to show you how to thrive. I've been hitting the phones for years, and, but right now, we're doing a startup. We're doing a startup, and we can run it from there. So subscribe and stay tuned. All right, thanks. Yeah, hit the like button, because this is like one of my first videos. I haven't even, even though I was, born and raised out here, grew up out here, and and things like that. I'll take you guys on a good tour and things like that. You guys see the city and things like that. You know what I mean? And I kind of see where things go. But just hit the like, and we'll subscribe from there.